We are so delighted to have some of our community here in the sanctuary this morning. It is starting to feel like Sunday. Yeah, you can cheer, that's okay. We are able today to welcome in just a few folks, including some of the newest people exploring our community. And we're so excited that we'll be able to welcome in other folks next week and more, and find ways for us all as we feel able and safe to be together. We want to warmly welcome you and welcome those watching from home and invite you to arrive here fully, safely, and together. As you know, you'll be wearing your masks throughout the service and whenever you are in the building. We on the chancel will remove ours while we are up here, and we'll put them back on after the service. We will not be singing out loud together in the sanctuary quite yet, though if you are watching from home, be sure to sing loud enough that your neighbors complain. Perhaps you would like to sway or even dance to the music instead. And finally, a word on space and our need to be a little apart even when we are together. I want to invite you, if you are in the sanctuary, to stretch your arms out wide. If you are able to touch someone not in your pod, move a little bit until you have that wide space around you. While your arms are outstretched, you might wave to each other, Wiggle your fingers in excitement. Wave to the folks back home. We are glad you are here, in the room or around the world.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Arlington online service. I am Chris Johnson, and I'm honored to serve on UUCA's Board of Trustees and as Treasurer. Ours is a community of various abilities, many genders, and sexual identities, a community of diverse cultural, racial, and class backgrounds. Whether you have been coming to UUCA for many years or are new to our community, I hope you feel welcomed and at home. Whomever you may be, we welcome you to our community. I invite you to join us after the service for our virtual Zoom coffee hour so that we can connect and get to know each other better. The link can be found in the Connections newsletter or in the email reminder sent out this morning. Please join me this morning in welcoming to our virtual pulpit our new assistant minister, Reverend Carol Thomas Cissel. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the service. Thank you for joining us this morning, and I hope to see you at our coffee hour immediately following the service.
I invite you to join me for our chalice lighting words. We gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world.
Come in. Bring your blessings, your burdens, your joys, your sorrows, your laughter, your tears, and come in. This place is your sanctuary. This place is your home. Out of the din of the city and the days of busyness, away from the noise in our crowded lives, come in. Rest in this moment, in the quiet, in the intentionality of community. Remember, you've chosen to be here. You made a decision to get up and come in today. Something in your life, something you read, something you saw, arrived and made you want to be here. We come together and become holy and whole. So come in. Lay your burdens down. Bring some joy. Let your toes tap and your body sway. Come in and welcome.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí. Al corazón, cántale tu compasión. Sopla al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arráigame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí.
I feel a little bit like Little Red Riding Hood with this basket here. From the time we come into the world, most of our parents push us towards independence, particularly in Western culture, right? Stand on your own 2 feet. You can do it. You are invincible. There's a piece of that culture that's about doing it alone. But here's the thing. When you do it alone, sometimes it breaks pretty easily. There's an Aesop's fable called A Bundle of Sticks. There was a father and a son, father and two sons. The sons were named Theodore and Jackson, Teddy and Jack. They worked really hard on their property. There were bushes to clear, there was gravel to put down on pathways, there was crops to be brought in. While they worked, they didn't sing "Someone's Knocking at the Door." While they worked, they quarreled, they squabbled. Let me pick this thing up. No, let you push the wheelbarrow. No, I want to be in front. No, I'm stronger. No, I'm faster. No, I'm bigger. No, I'm older. All Teddy and Jack did was argue through the entire day. And the father would sit in the wagon and listen to his sons, and he was troubled. He was really troubled because they were much more concerned about themselves independently than the possibilities of what could happen if they came together. On one particular day, the father came out of the wagon and he walked towards the boys in the field, and he had some sticks. And he went to each one and he handed them a stick. And they looked at him like he was a little bit off. He said, "I want you to try with all your might to break that stick." Well, Jackson was like, "Whatever." Broken. Theodore, on the other hand, thought it might be a trick. And his stick was a little thicker. So he said, "I want to see you break a stick, Dad. You try first." And the father pulled himself upright, and he knew there was a lesson to be told here, and he said, "No, Teddy, just on your own, break that stick." So Teddy took that stick, and he twisted it, and he tried, and ultimately, he broke that stick too. So they were standing there, sticks broken, feeling pretty cocky. And the dad said, "You know what I want now? I want you all to try to break these sticks." They were feeling pretty cocky. Jack looked at the bundle and he said, "Oh, okay, no problem." Teddy looked at it a little more carefully, measured the diameter of some of the sticks in the bundle, and said, "I don't think so." The dad cajoled them. "Try," he said, "try." So one after the other, they tried. And they gave it some trouble here. They tried. Oh! And the more they tried, the tighter the bundle actually got, and the dirtier their hands got, and the madder they got because they couldn't break it. They tried. The father took the bundle away from them, and he held it in his hands. And he asked them to put their hands upon his, and then they were going to try to break it. Now, if this was a regular Sunday, there would be a whole bunch of children here, and they'd be going, "Pick me, pick me, pick me. I want to break it. I can do it. I want to break it, Rev Carol. Come on, let me be the one that stands up there and break it." But since it's just me, and my robe is white, I want you all to imagine all those hands coming together on this bundle, helping each other, and it being decimated. And what we'd end up with is this, is a whole bunch of broken sticks because we had done it together. Simple, right? There is power in numbers. There is strength in coming together. There is deep, deep love in helping someone else break something, solve a problem, choose the right pathway. You all are smart. This is an easy lesson. We are so much stronger together. And Teddy and Jack, they learned a little bit that day. They still squabbled. But there was something they took away from that time with their dad, with their hands touching one another when they were brought together. Something palpable, almost. We are stronger together. Blessed be.
We are stronger together. There I am. I want to just say a thank you to our amazing tech team and tech volunteers. Do you know how many queues they have to manage? I know, we're just, woo. We're online, we're in person, they're shifting, they're making it work. We are stronger together. There's hardly a better introduction to the offering and to why we share with each other and with our community. For the month of August, our Share the Plate recipient is Culpeper Gardens. We at UUCA love being able to share resources with organizations close to our heart, but it is not every day we get to share with an organization whose history is truly intertwined with our own. Culpeper Gardens, which provides affordable housing and services for seniors in Arlington County, was founded around 1975 by Arlington Retirement Housing Corporation, a nonprofit established by UUCA on land sold at a deeply reduced price for that purpose by Dr. Charles Culpeper, a member of this congregation. When I started here last August as senior minister, one of the first phone calls I received was from the folks at Culpeper, wanting me to know how much our relationship meant to their institution. Culpeper Gardens does exactly what it was created to do. It offers affordable, independent, and assisted living housing and related services to low-income seniors in our county. Their vision is that in Arlington, all older persons will have access to affordable housing and services that foster autonomy, dignity, and well-being. And of course, they need support to make that happen. We are stronger together. This month, 70% of all monies received through the collection will be shared with Culpeper Gardens, 30% staying for the ongoing work of love and justice of this congregation. You can donate in so many ways. You can mail a check to UUCA if you're here in the sanctuary. The baskets are coming by. You can donate through our website at uucava.org/ways to give or by PayPal at UUCAVA. We try to make it easy for you as an individual to give, so we as an institution can make life easier for others through our gifts. And we offer on these gifts a blessing. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share our gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. Let us be grateful even for our needs so that we may learn from the generosity of others. The offering will be received. Our reading this morning is titled The Grout by Marcus Hartleaf. The Unitarian Universalist congregation where I served as an intern, wrote Marcus, made a mosaic tree of life the summer before I arrived. Congregants of all ages came together to craft the tree's leaves using bits and pieces of broken ceramics, jewelry, glass, and stone. There are many precious personal items in the tree, including fragments of the Berlin Wall, a father's watch face, pieces of great-grandmother's china, and a key to the front door of a loved home. Like the members of the community that brought them together, each part is imbued with memories and meaning. Each fragment holds a piece of truth. Unitarian Universalists are mosaic makers. We are a people who bring together the broken pieces of our histories and the shining pieces of our seeking, and piece by piece create a mosaic religion. Our tree of life is found in the stories of our living tradition. The bead from a transformational moment of worship at a youth conference. The bit of paper stamped with the blazing emblem of the Unitarian Service Committee that saved lives during World War II. The button or the patch on a backpack that proudly proclaims the first justice issue that lit our souls on fire. But our mosaic making tells another story too, one that is often more difficult to see, one that is essential to the purpose of religious community, one that lies not in the beautiful and broken bits and pieces, but in the grout. Grout, the chalky, gritty stuff that is squeezed between the cracks of tiles. In a mosaic, the grout holds the image together, unifying disparate pieces into a whole. The grout of a community takes years to lay and settle. Grout happens in board meetings and committee meetings and endless emails and slow-moving institutions. It's in weekly potlucks shared by neighbors, a ride to church, and coffee in the social hall after worship. While the folks who show up for church only on Christmas and Easter will hopefully enjoy the beauty of the mosaic they find, they may never know the power of grout that holds us through all the seasons of life. We help to make the grout when we learn each other's names and when we reach out across generational divides. We help to make the grout when we show up on Sunday morning without having checked first to see if we're interested in the sermon topic. When a newborn arrives to be blessed by the community, it is the grout that enables us to welcome them. And it is in the grout that we rest when we gather to grieve and memorialize a beloved one who has died. Hold us, O grout. Gather us in through time and space and make all our broken pieces whole in community. In our multiplicity, make us one. From each of our jagged edges, give us the shape of communal beauty.
We would be one as we now join in singing a hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service with love and justice, strive to make us free.
Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor. Won't you open the door and let 'em in? Oh yeah. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing their bell. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor. You open the door and let 'em in. Oh yeah. So on Friday, I got the greatest surprise by email from Sophia that they were going to play Beatles songs. So all day Saturday, I was singing, "Someone's knocking at the door." And when I talked to my son Saturday afternoon, he said, "You've been singing, haven't you?" He knows about this sermonizing thing that goes on. And I said, "Yes, I have been singing." He said, "Please don't sing on Sunday." "I know Spirit will move you, Mom. I'm entirely aware. Please, it's the first time. Do not sing to those people on Sunday." Well, Corey was not correct. We are all looking for a safe space, right? A place that welcomes up, a place that welcomes us, a place where we belong, a place we can call home, especially in this uncertain period of a global pandemic, this time we are living in that is tumultuous, that is ever-changing, that we're not quite sure what's coming next. We essentially stayed home 17 months. I'm sure you counted them. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Thought we were catching our breath. February, March, April, May, June, July, and it's August, and we are still somewhat at home. In that time span, under that sort of stress and strain, small things turn into enormous things. Family issues and job stress make our simple daily existence challenging. My natural instincts, and probably yours, have been to sort of button down the hatches, right? To bolt the doors, to look inward, to continue taking steps to protect the people and the places we love that matter to us. So the idea that this sermon is about, this throwing the doors wide open, might be a little hard to take in. It might actually feel almost impossible. But that's exactly what we need to do to move through this painful period, this change, this ever-shifting place. That's what we need to do to move through this period together. If you're sitting here today, and for many of you who are watching this service live streamed out in the world, UUCA, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Arlington, Virginia, is one of your home places. It's a sanctuary, a shelter. Perhaps it's even a refuge at times. It's the place you get to come and let your guard down, just a little. I love the idea of us having a sanctuary, of this being a sanctuary, but I wonder what we can do to share it more. How can we share the home place? How can we share this place where we let our guard down? How can we share this thing that we call church, this thing that many of us love and cherish? As I pondered this question, how can we open our doors and ourselves and let more folks in? I thought about how trying life is right now, and that actually it could be impossible. I worried. We haven't been coming to this building. I haven't had to say many things to you all before. I worried, what would you think about the idea of opening it wide and telling people to come on in? And then hope came in, because I am a hopeful person. And faith reared her head. And I thought, no, they are going to understand this. That understanding that we have to open the doors is going to come through. In this period of time, we have got to lean into hospitality, transparency, and welcome others as we re-welcome ourselves and renew relationships with the people we already know and love. There's a book called Sticky Church. In that text, Larry Osborne offers a few concrete ideas on welcoming new people to church. I turned to his book last week, and I immediately thought, yeah, these are great ideas for welcoming newcomers. But I also thought, these are great for all of us beginning to return to our brick and mortar home places. Osborne explains that newcomers will immediately know if they've been seen and welcomed in a heartfelt way. How? How do they know? They can feel it. They can also feel, if we're not careful, invisible, unimportant, ignored. And it doesn't take much. Newcomers can tell in an instant if they are in a church that is generous enough to give comfort to anyone who mustered the courage to walk through the doors. In the before times, going to church was a decision. No one accidentally shows up at 10 o'clock in the morning at a building, ready to sit in a pew and sing some hymns and listen to Sophia. It's not an accident, guys. You make a choice, a decision, you get up, you have some breakfast, you brush your teeth, you comb your hair, you put clothes on, you check to make sure you have enough gas when you're in the car, you drive anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour to get here. If you're at home, you park yourself in front of your computer, you make sure the Wi-Fi is strong enough, you get your cup of coffee, you adjust yourself, you cruise your email for a little bit, and then you're at church. It's not an accident. What I want you to think about is if someone puts the effort into coming to this place, what are we going to do to let them in? It's not an accident. It's a thoughtful decision to come to church. So let's be thoughtful too. Let's apply Larry's newcomer ideas to ourselves as we come back home too. As we take the steps and make the effort to safely re-enter this sanctuary, let's intentionally welcome each other. And let's make sure that we see each other. To do that, we're going to have to shift the lens away from what we used to do and how we used to handle some things. We're going to have to manage our expectations. We're going to have to make space for the things we can do now. Newcomers and longtime companions are going to have to embrace a spirit of what I think is transformation, to rejoin in community inside our buildings and in cyberspace. We have to remember what it felt like to welcome each other in the before times and re-welcome each other now. I want you to think about that welcome, though. It can't be cavalier. This is not the time to be less than thoughtful. It's a time for thoughtfulness. It's a time for clarity, too. It's perfectly okay to receive people under certain conditions as long as you communicate what those conditions are. For instance, here at UUCA, if you're in the building, in the interior spaces, you wear a mask. Not complicated. If you forget your mask, there's some out there in the lobby at the desk. But we tell people ahead of time, we prepare them. We share the rules and the regulations, the new protocols. Here at UUCA, we are bumping elbows, and we are bowing when we greet, and we're waving and doing air hugs, but we're not quite hugging each other yet. We're not getting too close yet. Again, it's okay to have boundaries and some rules as long as we all know what the rules actually are. In the midst of the pandemic, this home place is striving to be safe and radically inclusive. We are combining intentional welcome while staying safe. Those are not merely abstract ideas. They're not just goals. They're not just descriptive of the congregation we want to be. No, those are hard, actual facts. We are striving to be safe. We are staying radically inclusive. Those two ideas are direct components of how we speak to the heart of our community. We want people from different backgrounds and identity groups to join this collective and make this their spiritual home. We want to welcome everybody in. It's going to take a little work to do it, but we are going to do it. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to spend time with the UUCA Board of Trustees, and there were several moments when I thought I saw our UU principles in action, especially the first and the seventh ones. The inherent worth and dignity of every person, that's the first. And respecting the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, that's the seventh. I watched that thoughtful group of leaders do the work required to back up the things I just said we're going to do. I heard about the desire to be more diverse and inclusive. And when I say diversity, I don't mean only racial diversity. I also mean diversity in class, in education, in culture, in age, in gender, and in theological understanding. Your personal system of beliefs is welcome here, and it doesn't have to be the same as mine. I listened yesterday as they expressed joys and concerns about our place in this Arlington neighborhood and the opportunities and a few drawbacks that it has. We sit at this spot of such diversity. We have this amazing facility that belongs to all of us. Gosh, it's an opportunity. And our board is aware of that. They see that. They want us to throw open the doors in ways that are safe. What I also saw was a keen sense of purpose and intestinal fortitude. My dad would call it guts. Living through a pandemic and managing this size religious collective takes guts. Your leadership has guts. They are loyal, they are hardworking, they are soft-hearted, and gosh, they want to come back too. That Zoom room was full of strength and spirit, two things we need to continue navigating the pandemic. That room was full of not only what we say, but the huge push to actually speak words we can stand behind. What we say speaks volumes about who we are. Throwing the doors wide open is how we, in this religious community, are going to build the beloved community. Now, those are words that you've heard in sermons and in writings, the words of Reverend Dr. MLK Jr. He's been attributed with that over and over and over again, this beloved community. He wasn't the first person to say those words. Reverend Shirley Strong of the Chaplaincy Institute explains that the term beloved community can be traced back to Josiah Royce, the 19th century American religious philosopher. These words are also part of the popular theological vocabulary at Boston University when King was there in the 1950s. But Josiah Royce, a philosopher, was the first to characterize the beloved community as a spiritual or divine place capable of achieving the highest good and the common good. Royce believed that individual faith communities could practice loyalty, unconditional love, and reconciliation together, and then apply those skills in the outer world, apply it to their neighbors, apply it in towns and states and countries, and you get the idea. He thought that if we figured out how to do it here in religious community, there was no stopping us. We could take that idea of beloved community out into the world. I think that's what's happening here. I'm pretty sure after 11 days, it's early, but I'm pretty sure that UCA is prepared to do their part in building the beloved community, in practicing love, loyalty, and taking steps towards being in right relationship with each other. I have the sense of a collective that is ready to unite, to reunite, to gather strength, and to focus on expanding our circle of care by embracing those who step into our congregation seeking community and a home place. We are poised to gently, cautiously return to our indoor spaces and to live the beloved community's highest expectations. Love, loyalty, right relationship. One other thing it's going to take, though, is to embrace change. The before times, there's a reason we call them the before times. We cannot go backwards. We are swimming in brand new waters every day, it feels like. That means we're going to have to change. Reverend Cheryl Walker, a Black UU minister who converted to our faith from Islam, shared these thoughts in UU World magazine. She shared what she has said means change deeply. She shared that moving from her faith, her Islamic faith, into Unitarian Universalism meant she had to look at community in an entirely different way. Rev Cheryl wrote that true community doesn't happen unless everyone is willing to give up some of their identity as an individual and take on the identity of the group. We have to move from individualism into the focus of shared community. Everybody's going to have to give up a little for all of us to get a lot. And what happens when we give up a little? We gain affirmation of who we both are as individuals and part of the group. We gain the wisdom of others who may have ideas that are different from our own. In true community, true shared community, we are supported on our life's journeys because we feel safe to be known at our deepest levels, because we let the blinders down. I love that Cheryl says, we give up a little, but in return we get a lot. Like the stick story, right? One stick, not so strong. A bundle of sticks, pretty strong. We are stronger together. We are better together. We are more loving together. We'll have to accept change to continue changing the world. One of the changes that I heard the board talk about was this desire for diversity and inclusivity. That inclusivity is key. When we throw the doors wide open, we have to throw them open to people of differing abilities, people of different income, people with different skin colors, people with a variety of family structures. We really have to throw them open to everyone. You've heard that term that fishermen use, cast the net wide. In the new times, this is our opportunity to cast the net wide. We can cast it online. That community matters and is important. We can cast the net in here, reconnecting with each other. And we can cast the net in the entire Washington, D.C. area and bring them home. As we move towards the next place in this pandemic, people are desperate to connect, ready to get out of their houses, wanting to have a dinner outside that's safe and distanced. It's time for this congregation to lean into that and bring what we have to offer: community, love, loyalty, and sanctuary. We have a space where you can be safe in all kinds of ways, and where you can safely let your guard down. That, my friends, is religious hospitality. And that is something you all know how to do. I'm going to close this morning with words from former UUA President Peter Morales. True religious hospitality reaches out to those who do not yet know. It can be as simple as greeting someone seated near you on Sunday morning, or working up the courage to talk to a stranger before or during coffee hour. It means warmly welcoming those who come looking for religious home. As Unitarian Universalists, we respect each other's person's search for truth and meaning. As stewards of hospitality, we stand ready to look each other in the face and ask the question, tell me about yourself. Tell me what brought you here. Speak of your beliefs. I want to know you. The real challenge for us will be spiritual heavy lifting. Encountering people who are different from ourselves is not always easy. People we perceive as different test us. They test our spiritual development, but they help us also develop spirituality. We are a true religious community, and people are hungry for that, for connection and commitment. Morales goes on to say that our future, and when he says our, he means the future of Unitarian Universalism. Our future depends on whether we can connect with people at the level of their deepest longings and their highest aspirations. That's the future of the faith. Our future here in this community at UUCA will greatly depend on casting the doors wide open and then being inside, ready to welcome. Do you feel ready to welcome? I see nods. Yes? Do you know how to welcome? Let's practice. In your socially distanced space, I want you all to stand up for a moment. Shake it out. You've been sitting for a while. I want you to pretend the closest person to you is someone you've never met, never spoken to, don't know anything about. Welcome them. Welcome. How are you this morning? It is good to see you here. I am glad that you are here too. And as you welcome each other, I want you to find out one thing about them that you didn't already know. Engage your curiosity. What brought you here today? Do you like to sing? Do you have children in the RE program? Practice. Do you have children in the RE program? How old are they? Boys or girls? Girls. Are they happy here? Yeah? Now ask me something. I raised them. I did not. I did not raise my children as you use. But I hope to raise my grandson as you use. Yeah, that's right. This is wonderful. Let's reel it in. Come on back to me. Let's have a seat. See, look at that. These connections that you have made can be continued outside of this sanctuary. We are called to feed the spiritually hungry, to offer a home to the religious homeless, and in the process, to enrich all of our spirits. May you and I be there with anticipation in our hearts when the doors are thrown open. May our eyes truly meet the eyes of the other and our arms extend, always saying, welcome, welcome. We are so glad you are here. In this space and in this beloved community, let us lean into welcoming and stretch ourselves to meet each other with grace and compassion and joy. Blessed be, and amen.
Friends, I welcome you now into a time of prayer and meditation. We have connected with each other. Let us center down. Spirit of life and love, God of many names, as we find our home place, may we bring all the broken pieces, the beauty and the jagged edges too. May we bring all our joys and sorrows. We who worry and grieve. We who are angry or hopeless. May we bring every piece of ourselves. And together may we be the grout. Entering in with our broken spaces, may we find here the power to hold it all. The grout that makes us stronger. As our hearts break for our fellow humans across the globe, those fleeing for safety in Afghanistan, those who have no safe place to run to, those in Haiti beset by another earthquake. As our hearts break around the world, as they break and are mended again and again, may this place hold us all. Spirit of life and love, let us be both the broken pieces and also the grout today. May it be so. Amen.
Knocking at the door, somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor, open the door and let him in. This service is done, yet we remain connected by our concern, our compassion, our faith, and our unified desire to change the world. Oh, friends, remember that connection. Hold it tightly against your heart until we are together again. As you move into the week ahead, be strong, be well, be loving, be kind, and take what you have gleaned from this time together with you into the world. Amen, friends, and blessings on your journey this week.